Today, I'm going to slap you in the face with 5 photography tips. This video could help beginners or advanced amateurs, so go ahead and slap that like and subscribe button. 1. Get out of auto mode. If you are at all interested in shooting anything else besides your family smiling at the Grand Canyon as you quietly contemplate your next vacation should they slip, then it's time to stop shooting in auto. I know that scary M icon can be quite daunting at first. I've been there, but it's really not that hard to learn what the contributions that shutter speed, aperture, and ISO have on exposure, and more importantly, how they affect the creative look of your image. It takes time to master it, but implementing it today is easier than you think. 2. Learn the difference between RAW and JPEG. I've gotten away from telling people to shoot in RAW. Shocker, I know. Personally, I shoot RAW, and that's why it's the right way. Kidding! People have preferences for shooting in both RAW and JPEG, which is why I feel like the best tip I can give today is first learn the differences and then figure out how much you enjoy or how creative you want to be in post-processing. I will leave the discovery to you, but as a brief crash course for the beginner, to me, RAW is easier because you can ignore a lot of camera settings. If you enjoy post-processing and want to someday really push your editing, shoot in RAW. If you hate post-processing and would rather just have maybe some small brightness adjustments and maybe a little color adjustment, maybe a little saturation, and call it good, shoot in JPEG. If you don't like post-processing and would prefer JPEG, be prepared to have more things to sort out in your camera's menu and learn how to properly set your white balance for the scenario that you're shooting in. I ignore all that in RAW. 3. Learn your colors. For almost no money, you can get a color wheel on Amazon. For truly no money, you can Google complementing color chart. So if you don't investigate this, you're either broke or lazy. There is no other reasoning. Using complementing colors can have someone betting that you are using a way better camera and lens combination than you actually are, or that you're a way better photographer than you might be. That is the power that our human eyes and brains have on perceiving color. Painters have used this theory for the hundreds of years of artistry before photography came along, and it is surprisingly not that common in photography. And even myself, this was commonplace in my earlier years. I'm talking like way back in the day. And after struggling to get people to comply with a particular outfit idea, I just abandoned it. I recently came back to coordinating colors, and I am so sad that I ever left. I lost years of photos that could have been just that much better. 4. Shoot with what you have. Save for what you don't. It's easy to get gas. No, not that kind. I'm talking about gear acquisition syndrome. I'm totally guilty of it in the past. I used to be a collector. I just wanted stuff, right? You know what gear never did? Make me any better at photography. You know what it did do? Frustrate me. Ladies and gentlemen, there is absolutely nothing less productive than wasting your time screaming for something instead of shooting photography. Gear is fun. I love it. I want to talk about it. But how many YouTube photography channels have you seen grind the gear into your ears? I will not gear talk in a car. I could not at a bar. I do not like gear talk and s'mores. I do not like them, you gear whores. I'm joking. You know I love gear, but please just don't fall into the mindset that you need something to get to the next step. In 99% of cases, you don't. You just want it real bad. And that's okay too. The second part of this tip is do not carry a credit balance or loan on photography gear. It's always better to save for the things you want and need. When you save up, by the time you're ready to go, you'll probably be able to find an open box or used like new deal anyway, and you'll come out ahead. Photography debt and gear acquisition syndrome often go hand in hand, and you could run the risk of losing something you just bought when the third killer comes in, buyer's remorse. Tip number 5. Edit your damn photos. If you've already figured your camera out and have a basic understanding, even to a small extent, of what photography is, you're already behind on learning to edit. Every single digital photo, for the most part, could probably use a little bit of adjustment. Even if you don't think so, you'll want to know how to remove dust, maybe change colors a little bit, add a vignette, and to a greater extent, fix serious problems like color casts or background distractions. If you think you need a new piece of tech to make your photos look better, I promise you, you can suppress that feeling by stepping up your editing game. Guys, I see it all the time. Flat, unsaturated photos that look like they went straight from RAW and saved it as a JPEG. And maybe you like that look, or maybe you're pretending so you don't have to learn something new. If you don't enjoy learning and doing as much as you can, find a new hobby that makes you want to go all the way. Well, my friends, that's your 5 photo tips. Stay sharp, YouTube.